Okay, in this video, Thomas Pieters, DP World Tour, super tall guy, does get the club a little bit off plane, has some issues sometimes with directional control, and let's see why that might be. This one here is a wedge shot, but it does show a little bit of this club going up and actually steepening in the transition. He's a really tall guy, 6'4", and that may contribute to some of the issues, but as this club goes up, rolls it a little to the inside, and there's that club starting to come up to the plane and then over, and then steepening slightly here. We'll see it even with some long shots as well. That then requires a recovery move. Once it goes steep, then you got to shallow it out again. So comes up, gets steep here. You'll see other players at this point have the shaft more back in this position. So when they start down, it can easily shallow directly back to the plane. His gets steeper. Takes 2 or 3 frames to try to get back down. And once that happens, the club head will drop behind, usually under the plane, especially with longer clubs. And for a tall guy, definitely stays down as best he can and then through. There are some swings on these videos where he really does get the club in a little better position. It does shallow out better. We can see this thing work its way to the plane right away. And that then would allow him at this point to be rotating his body, getting the chest rotating sooner to keep it on plane. But once you have to go from a steep shallow combo, that stalls out the upper body, and so the shoulders get super closed at this point, and that will send the club off to the right, which then gives you that push hook combo. This one here directly down the line, great camera view. We can really see that takeaway, super wide. It's a little bit rolled, like we said earlier on the other clip. This one just tough to see because the shaft is blending into the background there. But even so, as he starts it down, as the club's changing direction, it's in this position right here, which is quite a bit steeper, like I said, than the shaft plane. And then it's going to have to shallow out. And some of these weeks he does it. He shallows it beautifully. Other weeks he doesn't. Usually he's having to hang back on his back foot. Gets a lot of pressure here to try to get that club to go from steep, shallow, and back to the ball. When you overdo that, like I said, the club drops too quickly, and you'll hit thin blocks out to the right, or just pushes, or you can get some hooks to the left. And being so tall, his angles change drastically because he's got long arms, big guy, so as those angles change a lot, of course, then the path obviously changes drastically as well, compared to someone who might be, 5'4". This one here, we can just see a little more of that steepening move right there. Whereas he starts down, probably something he's done from a kid, so it's baked into his swing DNA. Hard to change that, but at that point, like I said, the club's being pulled on a little too hard. Shaft gets a little steep, then has to shallow out. That pulls the hands out away from the body, and you get more rotation at the bottom there than you're looking for. I have a feeling on a lot of weeks where he's 3/4 swinging it up to here, super windy, different conditions, and changing direction. He already has this club on this angle, so when he changes direction, he can keep it there and just rip it. And the other ones where it gets up there on a fuller swing and makes that little steepening change of direction, that's where he gets into trouble. When you do hang back on the driver, you can certainly launch it up into the air. But the steep, shallow miss, when you're on time, you can just crush a driver, especially at 6'4". But if you're out of time, out of rhythm, it's going to be tough. Everything else looks awesome. Great setup, great grip, fundamentals. Huge turn. Like we said, we know it gets slightly steeper here. Then you have to stall out a little bit to shallow it out. And that's why sometimes he even falls backwards, coming through impact, and ends up pushing hard on this back foot. And once again, the more you push on the back foot as you're leaning back through impact, the more you lose face control. This clip here with the driver, there it is on the way up. And it changes direction in a steeper position there. And once again, he's going to have to hang back to shallow it out. A lot of extension out away from the plane. Like I said, he's amazingly great. Wins golf tournaments. Take nothing away from his talent and hard work. But it is tougher to control week in and week out compared to a player who's got it going up more traditionally, up this way and then shallowing back down to the plane. A couple more clips here, one wedge shot, one on the putting because he is such a good putter historically. Not as great this year, but he's certainly great historically rolling the rock. Let's see this one here. So this is a shorter swing rather. There's that 3/4 action. We know that's closer to the swing plane. And he's able to get through that one onto his left side and stay down easier because of that 3/4. So he's trying to get this down under the wind. Just hits a beautiful shot in there. More classic looking weight transfer to his left side. That keeps that face under control and dials this right in there. Beautiful shot. Lastly, this one with the putting. I mean, how do you look better over a putter than that? Watched several clips in his putting. He just looks rock solid all the time. All these angles matching up. Shaft and the forearms in line. Eyes directly over the ball. Looks completely natural. Produces a just perfect stroke. And he looks like just a great putter to me. Like, I'd be surprised any week he struggles with the putter. Like I said, although he is struggling this year relative to his past years, I still expect him to be a great putter year in and year out. Okay, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Just a quick reminder, if you've not subscribed to the channel, please do so. And if you like the video, hit the like button as well. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.